Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Watch Us Thrive podcast. This is your girl Lianne, podcaster, speaker, domestic violence survivor, and advocate, and I'm so happy to be back with another solo episode. I may sound a little under the weather. Like I said in my previous solo episode, January has been very ghetto for me, and I got sick for I think like the second or third time since 2024 started. I've been through a lot. Like January has been not a great month for me, but it's going to be February in a couple of days and I feel like that's going to be my new year. That's going to be the start of all the goodness that's coming in my life. I had a lot of bullshit going on in January. I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what's going on? I had strep throat in the beginning of the year, had a frozen shoulder that I had to wear a sling. I couldn't fucking move. I had to put down, rest in peace, one of my dogs, which was so emotionally traumatic and draining to have to go through that. And then I got sick again. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot, but we're pushing forward. We're feeling better. Just came home from the gym not too long ago, and I'm feeling inspired to record another solo episode for you guys that is inspired by a beautiful TikTok video that I came across. If you guys know, you've been avid listeners of the show. When I started my solo episodes, season one in the beginning, a lot of my inspiration came from content that I found on my For You page. Recently, I came across a video with a very, very powerful message. And when I heard it, I was like, oh, we got another solo episode to talk about because it's a message that some of y'all need to hear. And I want to let y'all know now, everything that I say is going to be from a place of love, but there's some accountability that needs to be had in today's conversation, and we're going to talk about it. I might ruffle a couple feathers, I might piss a couple people off. Put your motherfucking triggers to the side so you can receive this message. I really want this episode, if you do feel triggered by the message, maybe there's some work that needs to be done within you in order to make the change in your life. So I'm going to say that before we even hop into the video or the audio. Of course, as always, if you're watching on YouTube, I will attach the actual video so you can watch it. And if you're listening, obviously you're going to hear the video, but let's play it first and then let's dive deep into it. This gentleman, we have a gentleman inspiration this week. His TikTok account is called Higher Up Wellness. Never heard of him before, never saw his account before, but when I was scrolling on my For You page and it popped up, the title that he had going across the video was what really stood out to me. And it says, Call Yourself Out. I was like, call myself out? What's that about? When I listened to it, I was like, oh shit. He got his foot on some people's necks. And after listening to the whole message, I was like, damn, this is such a good solo episode to dive deep in because it's something that I can relate to so much. So everything that I say, it's really coming back to me and things that I would say to myself. And hopefully if you resonate with it, great. And if you don't, that's great too. So again, his name is Higher Up Wellness. We're going to link his account in the episode show notes so you guys can check him out and see what his vibe is all about. So now let's play the audio/video.
A lot of you don't have what it takes to be successful, and that's okay. What's not okay is to be dishonest with yourself. You say you want to lose 50 pounds or build some muscle, but you sit on the couch, you skip multiple workouts in a week or month, and you scroll or Netflix your life away. Maybe you say you want to build better financial habits and save more money this year, but you're still spending 25 to 50 bucks a day eating out on lunch and dinner, buying Uber Eats, or you still have multiple 20, 25, and $50 purchases in a month of things that you don't really need. Whether it's building a business, improving your habits, or building a physique, it requires a certain level of effort. It requires being on a path that most people simply aren't willing to take. It's uncertain, it's anxiety-inducing, at times it will be downright boring, but the fact that it is those things is the very thing that gives it value. And the beautiful thing about this is that you have the choice of whether or not you want to be one of the 99 people that quits and gives up, or one of the 1 to 2 people that decides to just keep going despite those things. And I think it's pretty damn cool that we have the option to choose that. Some of you are going to prove my very point and project your failures in the comments. You're going to say something negative about this video because I called out something within you that you don't like. If you want to go where others can't, you have to do what others won't. It really is that simple. Having a great physique, being wealthy, being intelligent, these are all things that are sought after. Why do they have value? Because they're not easy to obtain, therefore people admire them. But the fact of the matter is, those people just kept showing up in spite of the anxiety, the monotony, the boredom, the uncertainty of the path, the lack of clarity that the next step in their path gave them. And eventually they got to that point where everybody admired them. Maybe this video struck a chord with you, at which case you have a decision to make. Be honest with yourself and say one of the two things. Either I'm on this path now, I'm willing to do the things it takes to be uncomfortable and sometimes bored because I want to achieve something that most people can't. Or say, I don't want this bad enough and it's time to move on to something else. It's time to be honest with yourself and call yourself out. It isn't easy, but it is simple. Don't ever complicate it.
I mean, whoa. Shots fired. But I really, really enjoyed this TikTok video because the message behind it is so powerful. It's all about taking accountability and looking in the mirror. And if you're a regular listener of the show, that is something that I stand 10 toes down on. It's something that has drastically improved my life since I started my own personal development healing journey from the things that I've gone through in the past. It's something that I will scream about at the top of the mountain until I'm blue in the face and y'all get sick of me, but I'm going to keep saying it over and over. Taking accountability is such an uncomfortable feeling. It's such an uncomfortable thing to do for you to really take a step back, evaluate your life and the places that you're lacking or you're not happy with, and realizing that, oh shit, I might be the problem. It's something that I've had to do constantly over and over in my own journey. There's just things that we really need to stop bullshitting about and start really calling ourselves out. This is why this episode is called It's Time to Call Yourself Out, period, point blank. It's time for you to really stop playing around with your potential and start making some changes in your life in order to become the person that you want to become. I'm going to use me for an example. If you guys have been around for a minute, you know that I had weight loss surgery in November of 2022. That's been a journey in and of itself, right? I've been on a weight loss journey for a long time, but I've really been taking it seriously recently. Honestly, taking accountability, looking in the mirror. When I had the surgery, I did not take it as seriously as I should have back then. And I've talked about this on the episode when I talked about actually having the surgery. I'll link it in the show notes if you guys want to check it out. One thing that I realized being on my weight loss journey through having bariatric surgery, and for those who want to know, I had a gastric sleeve, which is that they cut off and throw away like 70% of your stomach, and then you're left with literally the size of a banana. That's what my stomach is now. What I did not realize, or what I didn't do enough research about, and what, in my opinion, the doctors don't talk about enough, is how much more mental it is having weight loss surgery as opposed to the physical. Like, yes, physically my body is changing, but what they don't talk about enough is how much you need to shift your mindset in order for it to be sustainable and successful. Because there's a lot of people who do have weight loss surgery. They don't change the way that they eat, they don't change the relationship that they have with food. And a lot of people end up stretching their stomach, gaining back all of the weight that they lost, and sometimes they gain back even more. Some people in society think that, like, oh, that's the easy way out. You're having surgery. That's so fucking easy. Let me tell you something. Having surgery is not fucking easy, okay? The shit that comes after the surgery is so much more harder than going through the actual surgery. I did not realize, well, maybe I did realize, but I just failed to change. I failed to change the way that I ate, the types of foods that I ate. That is what was really causing my journey to be a lot slower in progress when it comes to the weight coming off. I want to say, I don't know, maybe like 6 months in post surgery, I wasn't changing the way that I was eating. I wasn't changing the types of foods that I was eating. The only thing that really changed was the amount that I could physically put in my body. But, I was still eating out all the time. I was still picking really shitty foods. Weight loss surgery is just a tool, but it's not like the end all be all. I'm just going to have surgery and then I don't have to do anything else. That's not how it works. And that's something that I did not take seriously. And I thought, I'm going to have surgery. I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to look great, but I can keep doing what the fuck I'm doing. That's not how it works at all. And what happened last year, after I lost about, I want to say somewhere between 65 to 70 pounds from my highest weight, everything stopped. I was getting frustrated because I was being somewhat consistent with working out, but it wasn't something that I was, again, taking very seriously. I was stuck in a plateau every week. I would weigh, or used to be very toxic that I would weigh myself every single day. I highly recommend that you don't do that. I know some people say you should. I know some people say you shouldn't. For me and my mental health and my sanity, weighing myself every day is a no. I've got it down to I'm weighing myself once a week, every Friday, first thing in the morning after I use the bathroom, and I'm completely naked. Like, that is going to be my true weight. But that's neither here nor there. But I wasn't doing what I needed to do. I was pretty much taking the easy way out. And that reflected back on the scale. And I was getting frustrated. I was like, what the fuck? Why is the scale not moving? I'm going to the gym, I'm working out, but what I didn't take accountability on during that time was what I was putting into my body. And it's such a cliche saying, but it's so true. Like, you cannot out exercise a bad diet. You're literally wasting your time if you're not being conscious of what it is that you're putting into your body. You can do all the burpees, you can run all the miles, you can lift all the heavy weights that you want, but specifically if you're on a weight loss journey, you need to be in some sort of calorie deficit, meaning you need to burn more calories compared to how many you are taking into your body. It got to the point that I gave up. I was like, fuck this. There's no point. There's no point in me busting my ass in the gym and doing all this stuff, and I'm stepping on the scale and it's not moving. Another very toxic relationship that I had that I'm still working through, but we're on a better path now. But I shared that story with you guys because I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from a place that I was that person who didn't take accountability, didn't look in the mirror, and thought I could take the easy way out. Sorry to break it to you. Sorry, not sorry, actually, but that's not how life works. Like the video says, whatever it is that you want to do, whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to become a successful person, whether you want to change your relationship with money, whether you want to start a business, whatever it is that you have to do, what you need to do is follow through your words with action. And I say this shit all the time. What is the definition of insanity? The definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. You say you want to do something, but you're not putting in the effort to do it. A lot of y'all don't have what it takes to become the person that you want to be, and that's okay. And again, I'm speaking from love. This is a tough love episode, but it's something that you probably need to hear because it's something that I needed to hear in order for me to start getting my shit together. You really have to be honest with yourself. And maybe it's because you don't want it bad enough. Maybe you're not ready to really put in the work to become the person that you want to become. And if that's the case, that's okay. But I feel like everyone gets to the point that they get sick and tired of their own shit. And once you get sick and tired of your own shit, that is when the shit can start to change. One thing I cannot stand about this time of year, the new year, is the whole New Year's resolutions. New year, new me. You set these really high expectations of wanting to do things differently. And I love that for you, right? But a lot of people do not follow through. A lot of the times, I think the statistic is like after 21 days or something like that, people completely let go of the resolutions and they continue life the way that they've been living from the previous year. That sucks, right? Like, that's such a shitty way to live your life. Like, you say you want to do these things, I want to lose the weight, I want to get my finances together, I want to start the business, but it all becomes too much. It all becomes too much, or you come up with so many different excuses as to why you can't, and you let that overtake you reaching the goal that you want to reach. At the beginning of a new year, a lot of people have motivation and, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to work out 6 days a week. I'm going to save 90% of my paycheck. I'm going to, go all balls to the wall with my business plan. But eventually, that motivation fades away. It's a given. It happens to everyone. Motivation does not last. What's important for people to build is three things. There's three pillars, in my personal opinion, of how someone can truly be successful, reach their goals, whatever that looks like for you. There's three things. It's not motivation, okay? Motivation is great to start the fire, but it's not going to make it burn long lasting. You need these three things. You need discipline, you need effort, and you need consistency. Those are the three things that you need in order to truly get to the person that you want to be. You have to put in the work. You have to show up on the days that you don't want to show up. You have to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until eventually you get to the other side. That shit isn't sexy, right? It's boring. It's monotonous, like he said in the video. And there is no timeline. There is no, like, if I do this for X amount of days, then I will reach Y in, like, there's no formula. There's no, like, I'm going to do this for 45 days to become this person. Like, those people who sell that's like lose 30 pounds in 30 days, or make $1 million in like 15 fucking seconds. It's all bullshit. Okay. It's a long term journey and it's going to require you to show up. A lot of people, especially in this day and age, we're all about the instant gratification. We want the results and we want it right now. And we don't want to do the work in order to get those results. Hi, that's me. I'm one of those people. That's a very toxic mentality to have. What I've been learning is to enjoy the in between, enjoying the journey, enjoying the process, not just, oh, I just got to do it because once I reach this goal, then that's it. Like, no, that's not how life works, right? We all have a choice to make. Fight your mama, not me. We all have a choice. That's the key word. You have a choice to make. You can either choose to bitch and complain because you're overweight and you hate the way that you look and you're so self-conscious and so insecure and you can't stand looking in the mirror and you're gonna do nothing about it but just keep fucking complaining. Or you can choose the other side and be like, I don't feel good about myself right now, but I'm gonna make the change. And I'm gonna take the necessary steps that I need to take in order to make that happen. And I'm gonna take it one day at a time. One fucking second at a time, honestly. You have the choice to make that happen. And I think that's so beautiful. Like he said in the video, we all have the opportunity to make something different. But do you want it bad enough? And a lot of people don't want it bad enough. A lot of people are comfortable with being complacent, with just getting by, with surviving. For me, in this season of my life, I've been so good at being complacent. I've been so good at being comfortable, but it's gotten me fucking nowhere. It's gotten me absolutely nowhere, and I'm tired of feeling that way. So what am I doing? I'm choosing to do something different and I'm choosing to enjoy the process. If you feel like you can resonate with any part of this conversation and you've been on this side where you're full of excuses and you're wishing and hoping and praying, but you're not really doing anything to change it, it's time to look in the mirror, babe. It's time to look in the mirror, take some accountability, call yourself out on your shit. It's uncomfortable, but it's in the uncomfort where the growth can really change and happen. Some people are not prepared for that. Like he said in the video, there are people who are going to project their failures onto you. And that's okay. But those are the type of people that you do not need in your circle. If you have family members like that, if you have friends like that, if you have a partner like that, please set boundaries with people who do not understand the assignment that you have for yourself. And it's okay. It's okay to end relationships. It's okay to put a bridge in between you and that person. It's okay for you to be selfish enough to be like, I'm doing this for me. You can't come on this journey with me because I don't need that type of negative energy in my life. That's perfectly fine. And some people will understand and some people will be offended. The people who are offended, you don't need to have them in your life. What you need is to create your own circle of support that's going to uplift you, that's going to do it with you, that's going to cheer you on, that's going to be proud of what you're trying to do for yourself. And that's what I've been able to create. Shout out to Josie and shout out to my Fierce Femme tribe, the girls in that group. So amazing. A lot of them are recent new friends and I'm so grateful for them because they're on the same wavelength. You know, like we're all in our personal development, healing journeys, all different walks of life, all different age groups and experiences. We are all trying to better ourselves. And it's so beautiful to have a community, especially of women. Oh my God, to my women listeners out there, it is so important for y'all to have sisterhood. Please, if you don't find them, especially online. There's so many communities, so many groups, so many coaching programs, so many resources out there for you to find your tribe. I promise you, y'all, you don't need to take this journey on alone. You don't. Your people are out there. If you don't have that situation, that circle in your life, maybe we need to take a step back, reevaluate, and make some changes. And what I think it's important is for us to stop putting so much pressure on yourself to do everything all at once. That's something that I'm shifting and changing about myself. Like I said before, I'm very much someone who wants the instant gratification, who wants the results right away. I want to lose the 50 pounds in a week. But I think it's important for us to enjoy the journey. Like, if you can do at least 1% more every single day, slow progress is better than none, right? It's another cliche, super overused, but it's so true if you really think about it. Like, for example, coming for if you're on a weight loss journey. You don't have to go from a sedentary lifestyle that you're literally sitting down all the time, you're not moving your body, you're not doing anything, and then all of a sudden, new year, new me, I'm going to go to the gym 6 days a week and spend 3 hours each session. Like, no. You don't need to go from 0 to 100. Let's make realistic goals. Instead of 6 days a week, how about we aim for 3, right? Especially if you have a 9 to 5, if you're a mom, if you have a partner, social life, all of these things. Like, we all have shit that we have going on in our lives. But if you could at least put 30 minutes to the side of your day to take a walk. Yo, one thing I realized, and I don't know if you guys can see this little green bar over here. I've been talking about it so much on my Instagram. I bought those viral, very on trend mini walking treadmill pads, right? I've been seeing it all over my TikTok. I've been seeing it all over Instagram. I've been seeing the girlies like moving it around from room to room. And I'm just like, I fucking want that. So I did it. I don't want to say I fell victim. I did it. I bought myself one. And I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Why? Because walking is one of the easiest exercises that anybody can do. I mean, unless you don't have legs, but that's besides the point. We're not talking about that. But if you have the ability to walk, walking is one of the most beneficial, low impact exercises that can truly change your life. And a goal that I've set for myself for this year is to get at least 10,000 steps in a day. At least. Yesterday, I did not go to the gym, but I was like, you know what? I want to get my steps in. So I did a 30-minute walk while watching Law and Order SVU. If you know, you know. It's one of my favorite shows. And a 30-minute walk got me to my goal of hitting 10,000 steps, So that's just me doing 1% more than I did the day before. So that's why I think it's really important for you to be able to just set these small, attainable goals and then build off from that. It's like that book Atomic Habits, like habit stacking, right? Like you do one and then you hit that goal, and then you do another one, you hit that goal, you do another one, and then it just grows and grows and grows until eventually it just becomes like this masterpiece that you created. But you don't have to go balls to the wall day one. That's how the motivation that we all have that fades away, and then you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this anymore, Like, make it so that it's enjoyable. Make it so that you can enjoy and love the process. I think that's so important for us. I loved the quote that he said, if you want to go where others can't, you have to do what others won't. I was like, yo, that is a whole bar. That is a whole bar. And that's the thing, right? It's so easy to do what's familiar. It's so easy to stay in your comfort zone. It's so easy to do the bare minimum. But ask yourself, what has that gotten you? What has doing the bare minimum gotten you in your life? What has staying in your comfort zone gotten you? And if you're happy with that, I love that for you. You like it, I love it. But if you don't, then you gotta do something different. You gotta step outside of what you know and what you're comfortable with and get a little bit uncomfortable. And it's okay to do that. And sometimes, yeah, it's scary because you don't know what to expect. But you'll never know if you don't even try. And then you're gonna be one of these people that just bitch and moan and complain and woe is me and oh my god, I'm a victim. But what the fuck are you doing to change your situation? I'll wait. Right. Make it make sense. If you wanna be a different version of yourself, you have to do something different. That's it. And it's really not that complicated. And people try to make it seem more complicated than it needs to be. It's so fucking simple. It's just uncomfortable. It's hard work. They don't want to do it. They want to get to the results without actually doing the work to get there. It's not how the fuck life works. Sorry to break it to you. And sometimes it's okay to sit down and to miss out on some shit in order for you to hit your goals. There's this acronym FOMO, fear of missing out. Sometimes it's okay to miss out. Sometimes it's okay to say, you know what? Nah, not this time. I got things that I want to reach and goals that I want to hit. So I'm going to miss this one. Sometimes it sucks to not be able to go to the party that everyone's going to be at or, go to the event that everyone's going to be at. But what I think you need to focus on is the thing that you have set for yourself. Sometimes you're going to have to miss out on a couple of things, a couple of outings, a couple of dinners, a couple of celebrations. That's okay. You have an entire life to live. There's going to be more opportunities. But right now, it's time to focus on you. So sit the fuck down, buckle up, and get serious with what it is that you want to do. Another thing that he said that, I love it so much. Why does being successful hold so much value? It's because it's not easy to obtain. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. It's not easy, but it's in you showing up for yourself day in and day out. One day you're going to get to the point and you'll be like, so fucking proud of yourself of what you were able to accomplish because you didn't give up on yourself, because you believed in yourself, because you showed up on the days that you didn't want to show up, because you got rid of the excuses, because you said, no more, this is it. I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to do what I need to do in order to live my best life and in order to be someone who's out here thriving and living. You have to get to that point. No one's going to do the work for you. No one is going to come and save you. No one has the blueprint. It's within you, but you have to get to the point that you want to make it happen. Another thing that I think about is like, especially for me, because I was the queen of stopping, of giving up, and then beating myself up about it because I'm like, fuck, I got to start all over again. And it's like you're just stuck on this hamster wheel and you're going and you're going and you're going, but you're getting absolutely nowhere, especially for me and my weight loss journey. Like, yo, if you don't stop, could you imagine a year from now how different you're going to be, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, the amount of confidence you're going to have, the energy that you're going to put out into the world because you stuck by your word, you follow through with action, like stop fucking quitting when it gets hard. Stop fucking quitting when it's boring. Stop fucking quitting when it's uncomfortable. And stop quitting because you don't know what the end result is going to be. You're never going to figure that out if you keep giving up before you're even able to get to the next level. And I'm saying that to myself because it's something that I've struggled with so much, with giving up before getting to the next level. It's such a shame to not trust yourself, not have the confidence within yourself to be like, no, I'm going to do more. I'm going to show up for me. That's really how I truly believe you build self confidence. You follow through with the promises that you make to yourself and you show up and you make it happen. Like that's how you build confidence. That's how you build self confidence. Keeping your word to yourself and following through with action. And that's the journey that I'm on now. Like I feel so great mentally. You know, there's still days, of course, because life and I struggle here and there. But compared to how I was in December, we're in the end of January. It's about to be February of 2024. I feel so good. I feel so much more confident. I'm nowhere close to where I want to be with my journey, but I'm enjoying the process. And I love that for me. And I really want for whoever is listening and you are having to call yourself out, I really hope that you resonate with this message. I do want to leave you guys with some questions that you can journal on, that you can ask yourself. So, the first one that I want you to seriously look in the mirror or write out and ask yourself is, do I want this bad enough? Do I want to make this change bad enough? Or am I still comfortable with where I'm at? If your answer is no, then hey, I can't help you. You know, that's on you. But if your answer is yes, I do want it bad enough, the fuck are you waiting for? Do it. The next question I want you to ask yourself is, am I willing to be uncomfortable in order to reach my goals? Am I willing to miss out a couple of things in order to really stay laser focused, blinders on, and do what I have to do? Am I willing to sit in the discomfort? Am I willing to sit in the boredom, in the monotony? Am I willing to do that? And if you are, then let's fucking go. Third question, what has stopped you in the past to reach your goals? And why? Again, this is all about calling yourself out, asking those uncomfortable questions, really dig deep and figure out what it is that has stopped you before and why is that? Was it something going on in your life? Is it a mental thing that you were struggling with? Is it an emotional thing? Were you just fucking tired and not in the mood? Like whatever comes up for you, I really want you to journal that out so you can see what your mindset has been. And then the fourth and final question I want you to ask yourself is, what can I do differently this time to actually reach my goals? So this is the part where you make a plan. Another cliche. Y'all, this episode was filled with cliches, but another one that's super said all the time, but I totally agree with it. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? If you don't have some sort of action step or some sort of blueprint that you can follow along, especially if you're like on a weight loss journey, when I go to the gym, I have a program that I'm following. So every single day that I go, I have specific workouts that I'm doing with a specific number of sets and reps. Like I'm following this program along because I have goals that I want to reach. If you go into the gym, especially as a beginner, and you have absolutely no fucking clue what you're going to do, one, you're going to be overwhelmed and intimidated because the gym can be very overwhelming and very intimidating, especially if you go to a gym like mine where there's a lot of physically fit people who look like they know what they're doing. And then two, you're gonna give up so quickly because you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is too much. I can't, I fucking can't. Write it out, say it out, whatever it is that works for you. What are things that you're gonna be able to do differently this time in order to really stick to the plan and make the changes happen? And again, it doesn't need to be in this grand scale of like, I gotta do this and this and this and this. Pump the brakes and fucking relax, okay? One or two things that you can do for, I don't know, the next 6 weeks. What can I do? I can do this and I can do this. And then once you get into the habit of doing that for a little while and it feels comfortable and good for you, then maybe you can add on a third and a fourth and so on. Again, the habit stacking. So I really hope that that resonated with anyone who needed to hear it. You got to call yourself out on your shit. You got to look in the mirror and take accountability and be like, you know what? I'm a part of my problem, but I can also be a part of my solution. And every single day is a chance for you to start over. You don't need to wait until Monday. You don't need to wait until the first. You don't need to wait until the perfect time, because there is no perfect time. The perfect time is right fucking now. So let this be the message that you needed to hear in order for you to start getting your shit together with whatever goals it is that you have. If I'm doing it, I know you can too. And if you're looking for accountability and you need to talk to someone, y'all, my DMs are always open on Instagram. You can follow me at Watch Us Thrive Podcast. Hit me up. Let me know, what was your biggest takeaway from this conversation? What actually hit home for you? What was the punch in your chest? Like, ooh, I needed to hear that shit. I would love for you guys to let me know. So yeah, shout out to, what's his name again? I forgot. Hold on. Let's look him up. Higher Up Wellness, I think. Yes. Shout out to Higher Up Wellness for that amazing video, because when I heard it, I was like, yeah, we gonna talk about it. That's that motherfucking that. Okay, now we're going to do our segment of the chakra wisdom cards. If you're watching on YouTube, what is the affirmation that the people need to hear after having that conversation? Ooh, fifth chakra, which is your throat chakra, truthfulness. I am truthful and honest with myself. I aim to overcome any fears about speaking my truth, and I speak in a loving, considerate way. My personal empowerment comes from telling the truth and letting others know who I am. Others will be positively uplifted when they hear my truth, and I take care not to exaggerate in order to impress them. I am careful not to let my mind mislead me and in turn others. I avoid gossiping or speaking negatively of others. So y'all see I'm not lying, and this is a live reading. I did not plan this. Keep it real with yourself. Call yourself out on your shit. I could not think of a more perfect chakra card. I see you, God. He's in the room. Final segment for my solo episode. If you've listened to the first couple of ones, you already know what we about to do towards the end of it. We're at the Be Fucking For Real corner with Lianne, where I read Reddit users' submissions around dating and relationships, and I give my thoughts and feelings of their situation. This one is a little long, but it's juicy and I really want to get into it. So this is a woman submission. The title is My Boyfriend, Male 23, Told Me, Female 23, that he urges to have sex with other women every day. What should I do? And again, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to put it right next to me so you guys can read along with me. Let's get into it. So about 1 to 2 months ago, my boyfriend told me when we were walking home from a club that every day when he sees women, he thinks about having sex with them. He said that if I was 100% okay with it, he would want to have sex with other women. He said he knows that it would hurt me, so he'd never act on these feelings. He said that even though he thinks other women are less attractive than me, it still doesn't matter. He thinks about having sex with them, even though he actively thinks that I'm much better. He said that it's just his instincts as a man to want to impregnate as many women as possible. Oh my God. He also said that if I told him the same thing, then he would be really mad. And he said that he would never be okay with me sleeping with other men. To be clear, this wasn't an attempt to open the relationship. Oh, okay, because we needed that clarification. We already spoke about that, and from his end, he isn't okay with it either. He said he told me because he wants to be honest, and it makes him feel guilty. But also, I know that this is one of the reasons he broke up with his ex. ... So on the inside, I was really sad. I felt like my heart was pulled out of my chest, and I had that sinking feeling. LOL. But I told him that I'm glad he was honest, but I don't want him to be in a relationship where he isn't 100% satisfied. He said He is 99% satisfied, but 1% of him isn't due to these urges. He said he loves me and he knows that he is much happier with me compared to him being single and being able to sleep with anyone. It was a long conversation and it ended with him confirming that he feels being with me is more important to him. I tried my best to be strong as I do appreciate his honesty, and I wanted to put my feelings aside and assure him that he doesn't need to feel guilty unless he acted on the urges. So, the problem is, it's been over a month since that conversation, and I can really feel the impact that it's had on my self esteem. For the last 4 days straight, I've had dreams about him wanting to be with other women, him cheating on me, etc. And these dreams have become frequent. On top of that, I have faces to the girls that he had sex with before. I met 2 of them, so my dreams often involve these girls too, and it feels like torture. Lord Jesus. She's 23, remember that, guys. I just feel a horrible sinking feeling, and I feel like I'm in competition with every other woman on earth now. When I see pretty women, especially, I think about how my boyfriend is probably thinking about how he wants to have sex with them. I get quite a lot of male attention and can recognize that I'm quite pretty, but him telling me that it doesn't even matter what the girls look like was even more of a blow to my self-esteem. It really destroyed my confidence completely, and I think about this every day, and I don't know what can make me feel better or what I can do to restore my confidence. On top of all of this, he frequently makes jokes about wanting to sleep with other women. At first, it was a bit of banter between us, and I joined in too. But after he told me this, I told him I'm not comfortable with the jokes anymore. He's trying, but the jokes still slip out sometimes. I know that this is a normal thing for guys to feel, so I feel like I'm overreacting, but it has just made me feel awful inside. Is this healthy? Is this normal? What can I do to recover from this and continue our relationship? I love him and he loves me, but this is so hard. Too long, didn't read. My boyfriend told me he has urges to sleep with other women, but he doesn't want an open relationship. He just wanted to be honest because he feels guilty. He said being with me makes him the happiest. This information is destroying my self-esteem and I don't know what to do. I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible. Be so fucking for real. This can't be for real. This can't be for real. When I first read this, I was like, bitch, are you dumb? Are you fucking for real? Now I understand. She's 23. He's 23. They're both very young still, right? 23, you're basically a fucking baby. Even though when I was 23, I had a 3-year-old, but that's besides the point. My thoughts on this, and I know I say this with every single one that I've read, but honestly, there are so many relationships that y'all are in that you don't need to fucking be in. Be fucking for real. This is why we're in the be fucking for real corner, okay? He is a piece of shit. Okay, he is someone who does not need to be in a relationship, and what he's doing is this is a form of emotional abuse. I'm gonna fucking say it. I don't care if you don't agree with me. This is a form of emotional abuse. This man is making you feel like shit about yourself. I can't fucking wrap my head around this scenario. Like, what is the purpose of a man that you're in a relationship with telling you that he wants to have sex with other women? What is the purpose of that? If you're not going to open up the relationship, listen, if that's what you're into, I fucking love that for you. It's a hell no for me, speaking from fucking experience. I've talked about this before, guys. Go listen to my other episodes because I've talked about my whole polyamorous situation with my last relationship. 0 stars. Do not recommend. I don't understand. What is the purpose of you telling the person that you're supposedly so in love with and I'm so happy with you, you mean the world to me, but I want to have sex with other people? I'm sorry, what? The math is not mathing, sir. It does not make fucking sense to me. The only reason why you're saying that is because that's what you want to do. You do want to have sex with other people. You probably already have. And this is just your way of inadvertently telling her without telling her. This is just a way to beat her confidence down. Like she even said it in the thing, I feel so self-conscious about myself. I feel like I'm not good enough. That's really what she was saying. What I'm gathering, you're purposely making her feel like shit about about herself. Why? That's not love. That's not someone that I want to be with. And the part that really bothers me was the part that she talked about him making jokes about wanting to sleep with other women. Is that what he said? Yeah. He frequently makes jokes about wanting to sleep with other women. That's not a fucking joke. It's not a joke. It's not funny. It's not haha. We're not kikiing. Haha. Oh yeah, you want to fuck somebody else? Excuse me? Like, have some fucking respect. It really makes me think about, and I'm fucking triggered now because it makes me think about my last relationship, the one that was physically abusive where he almost killed me. I talked about a lot. Before all the abusive, physical abuse happened, he would make it a point to point out anytime he found someone attractive, whether it was a celebrity or not. He did it all the time. We would be out and a woman was walking, like he would purposely be staring at her or like, hey, look at how fat her ass is, you know? I remember there was this one time we were watching a movie. I forgot which one it was. And there was this famous actress. I don't remember who the fuck it was because a lot of that relationship is a fucking blur to me, honestly. But I remember that he was like, so like, oh my God, she's so fucking fine. She's so this, but like, excessive to the point it's like, yo, my man, can you fucking relax? What is the purpose of you doing that? What's the purpose of you saying that? The only purpose behind it is to make me feel like shit, like make me feel like I'm not good enough. That's really what you want. That's the mentality I have. Like, well, if you want to fucking be with her, just fucking be with her. And I remember there was a few times that we would get into arguments about that because it was just like OD. It was too fucking much. So my whole thought process around this is he probably has a sex addiction. That's a real thing. That's something that a lot of people experience and it's not talked about enough. It's very taboo. It's very like, oh my God, but probably he does. And he is 23 years old. So, you know, and I just don't think that for your sanity, for your confidence, that's not someone that you need to be with. I really want for us to have love for ourselves and more value for ourselves and to stop settling for the bare minimum bullshit that a lot of these men bring in these relationships. You know, like what is the purpose of you being with someone who doesn't make you feel good about yourself? There is none. There's no need for you to be in a relationship with someone who's not so fucking in love with you, making you feel like you are number one. If that's not the energy that you're bringing, I don't want it. I've dealt with a bare minimum. I've dealt with mediocrity. I've dealt with someone treating me like shit. I'm never dealing with that shit ever again. So if it's not a hell fucking yes, it's a abso-fucking-lutely not. No, not gonna be in this relationship. And I just feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for her that she's choosing to be in a relationship like this. But you know, this whole conversation is all about choices and calling herself out and taking accountability. I think she needs to look in the mirror and she needs to call herself out on her shit and be like, this is not the right man for me. This is not it. This is not the relationship that I want to be in. I don't want to be in a relationship with someone that every time we're out, like I'm having this thought of like, oh my God, he sees this girl. What if he wants to have sex with her? Oh my God, he sees this pretty girl on TV and like he wants to have sex with her. Like, what? That sounds like mental fucking warfare. That sounds like the most miserable relationship you could be in. Why? Why are you choosing to stay with someone who's not making you feel like your top priority in their life? What's going on? There's some uncomfortable questions that you need to have with yourself to be like, why am I choosing this? Why do I feel like this is okay? Why am I dealing with someone who's making me feel like shit about myself? Call yourself out. Look in the mirror, babe, because this ain't it. And he's not going to change. And you cannot be the person to make him change. That is something that I have learned with the relationships that I've been in. I used to be Miss Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm going to do what I can to change you to be who I want you to be. I'm going to tell you right now, that shit does not work. The only person that you have the power and control to change is yourself, not your mother, not your man, not your bestie, not your coworker, nobody. The only person you can change is yourself. And if you're going to continue to be in this situation, in this relationship where you're not happy, then stop bitching and complaining about it. and just shut the fuck up, because we don't want to hear it. Like, honestly, if you're gonna complain and like, oh, I feel so, I can't believe it, but you're not fucking doing anything to change the situation, now you are the creator of your own chaos. You are the reason why your situation is the way that it is, because you have the opportunity, you have the choice to change it, but you're not. You're choosing to stay because you've been with him for so long, because you're comfortable, because the sex is great, because the relationship with his family is whatever the fuck it is. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. The woman that I am now, I don't have time for the bullshit. So that's my 2 cents. What do you guys think? How would you handle this situation? It's fucking ghetto out here, okay? It's so much easier to be single and at peace. I hold on to my peace with my whole fucking chest because I haven't had it for so long. Now that I'm single and I'm loving the relationship that I'm having with myself, like, it's gonna take someone a lot in order for me to give this up, because there's no fucking way. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your feedback. What would you do in this scenario? Do you agree with me? Do you not? Let me know. And thank you guys so much for being here for another solo episode. I am loving these. I'm loving my For You page. It's giving me so much content. I'm loving these conversations. So, with that being said, please, y'all, leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars only. If you're a hater, get the fuck out of here. You do not belong here. I really appreciate you guys to let me know what you think about this podcast. And please, 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 please share this podcast with anyone that you know. Share it to your friends, your family, your coworkers. Tell someone to tell someone. That is the way that this show can grow and reach more listeners and viewers and subscribers. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. And until next time, this is your girl, Lianne. I'm sending you all my love, my light, my healing. And y'all, please continue to keep glowing, growing, and thriving. I love you.